Hey, y'all. I am back with the Yarn Everywhere podcast, episode 26. I can't believe it's episode 26 already. And I have some really fun stuff to share with y'all today. If y'all saw last week's podcast, I showed y'all the shirts that my mom sent me, and I got one on today. It's so cute and comfy. So I am going to start out with what I'm working on, and I'm really excited. Let me find so I'm working on another sunshine, iced tea cozy or coffee cozy. I've got quite a stack of them finished. My goal is to have 10 of them to take to the tea shop, and I'm getting pretty close to that. And then, I made some progress on my Sassy Wrap. Y'all, it is so pretty. Let me see. Here we are. Look, it's getting bigger. Isn't it pretty? I cannot wait to finish this. So I've gotten pretty far since the last podcast. So I'm so tickled to be able to crochet again. I mean, I know it was only 4 days, but can you tell that I have just like a little bit of trauma from that? Let me fix this so I don't undo my work as I pull this. So I'm really excited to I've made some progress on that. Let me make sure I'm not pulling anything with it. Okay. And then socks. I'm knitting all the socks. So the birthday party sock I'm working on. So here's the cuff, and then here's the heel. And now I'm working on the foot section, and I'm loving it. So my friend Cheryl over at Hypnotic Yarn made a video for me, which she's put it on her YouTube channel now, but she made a video for me to show me how she sets up her needles, for like the gusset stitches and beyond. And oh my goodness, it made sock knitting like so much easier for me. Like it clicks now, and I was able to finish a sock that I had. I'll show y'all in a minute, but I was able to finish that sock and start another one. And then I've made so much progress on this one, and I just picked this one back up last night. And I think I was like, I don't even remember. I think I was almost finished with the heel. So, anyways, it was a game changer, and I'm going to link that below because if you are new to knitting socks, or if that part challenges you like it did me, you're going to love it. It just makes it so much easier. And then it takes the having to think every step out of it for me. And I like those kind of projects. I like to just be able to kind of mindlessly work and still kind of pay attention. Like with knitting, I'm still like, I have to be more aware than I do when I'm crocheting, but I'm not having to be like, oh my goodness, am I doing this right? And having to count every single time. As you can tell, I'm really excited about that. And then here's the other one that I am working on, and I'm about at the same spot. So here's my cuff, and there's the heel, and I'm working on the foot part. Isn't that pretty? Pretty excited. And this is actually one of the colorways from my June yarn club. Yeah, I rarely show it early, but here we are. I couldn't help myself. So since I showed you that, those are all the whips that I have within reach. I'm going to show you the sock that I finished, and then I have a question for y'all. So here's the sock that I finished. Isn't it pretty? So, I was like, I should make another one. But then I got to thinking, okay, when I wear colorful socks, which is normally, I don't wear matching socks. I know, I'm like 12, okay? But I like the colorful fun socks. So I'll just grab they kind of like if one's like pink and purple striped, I'll have like a solid pink one. So it still kind of goes together, but it's not like matchy matchy. I don't know. It's a thing I've done for a really long time. And I don't know. That's just what I do. So I was like, why don't I just do that with socks, like knitting socks? So this is going to be a set. And if it looks really ridiculous, then I'll just make another one of these and another one of these. But I thought, like, how perfect. They're both like speckled, and I don't know, I think they're pretty together. Anybody else do that? I can't be the only one. But if I am, I like it. So I guess that's what matters, huh? It makes me happy. Um, so there's a little secret that y'all didn't know about me, that I rarely wear matching socks. It's a thing. Maybe it's just a thing in my world. Oh, sunshine. Here is my stack o' cozies. I have 6 done. Look at that. Aren't they pretty? So this was the very first colorway that grabbed my attention at Hobby Lobby, and I think it's called, blue, orange, pink. They're like me with name and colorways. And then I discovered the Brights colorway. It's still my favorite. If you can see the cubby back there, like, yeah, I love that color. And then my new favorite is their Eastern Nova. Did I say that right? I think it's what it's called. Um, oh my goodness, I love it. That one's pretty too. And then the other one is the City Beats, another favorite of mine. This just makes me think, like sunshine, summer colors. I love it. So those are all of my cozies. So what I do is I kind of have like a system that I do. I make them, I stack them up, and then when I'm ready, I weave in all the ends, and then I go through and I add the tags to them, and then I have like a plastic sleeve that I put them in with a sticker and all of that stuff. But I don't know, I like having just like a system. I don't have to like finish it, weave it in, and do all that. I just stack it up, and then I just have like a weaving in party. I mean, like, I don't really like it, but I might as well just jam it all together and just get it done. So that's kind of like how I do that. Before I would finish it, weave in the ends because I know it's going to sell. So I would weave in the ends and then, but now I just like, I stack it all up and I do it all at one time, usually in the morning before I've had my coffee. So I'm not really kind of aware that I'm torturing myself with weaving in the ends. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Um, and then my reward is I'm listening to a podcast and I'm drinking coffee. And then as I slowly wake up, I'm usually past the point of weaving in the ends and I can add the tags and I don't mind that part. So that's what works for me. Hey, Rakina. Oh, I bet it's so pretty. Yeah, that is one. I know I wish y'all had a Hobby Lobby. I thought about like having some kind of, I wish they would wholesale. Like if they would wholesale to me, I would start a thing where, Canadians could order it from me and like free shipping with a bulk order or something like that. Cause I really wish that y'all could get their yarn. Oh, speaking of Hobby Lobby, before I get to my other finished projects, now that it's on my brain, I'm scared I'm gonna forget. But our little cousin for her birthday wanted to go shopping. She wanted me, her mom, and her grandmother to all go shopping with her. And the first place on her list was Hobby Lobby. So I was like, girl, yes. So we went to Hobby Lobby, and I don't know if they had just had like a huge yarn sale or they were clearancing yarn, and I was a day late and a dollar short, but they hardly had any yarn to choose from, and I was a little sad. Mainly the cotton. I usually just get cotton yarn now because for the most part I don't use acrylic because I've gotten really spoiled with hand-dyed yarn. But I love their cotton, and so I was able to contain myself, which is a good thing. Um, but I found 2 new colors, 2 new to me colors. They may have had them for a long time, but I'm obsessed. Look how pretty that blue is. It's called Royalty. It looks almost a little flat on that end, but I can't explain it. Oh my gosh, it's such a pretty blue color. So I got that color. And then I got this like, it's like a muted, what am I trying to say? I don't know, almost like a muted teal. It's like if muted teal and sage green had a baby. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, it makes me think of the ocean. It's so pretty. and it may not be true to what's on the screen, but it's so pretty. So I got these two, which are new to me colors, and I plan on making one of my carry-all phone purses with them because this is the same thing. Okay, Nikki, get it together. But look how that texture pops. I love variegated yarns, but man, when you have something textured, those solids just make it pop. So I think these are going to be gorgeous in that. So these are my other finished items. I think I showed y'all that last week. But I changed the strap on this one. It has like it's still going to stretch, but it has less stretch than this. Well, this has already been stretched out because I keep using it, but I'm pretty excited about that. And so I think for this pattern, I've got to show my pattern testers. First, I need to update the pattern and then show my pattern testers and see if what they think and make sure that it makes sense. And then I think I'm going to offer the pattern with 2 strap options. If you want the like easy, I don't have to think about it. This is for you. You don't really mind that it stretches. This is for you. But if you want the, it's going to take probably a little bit longer, but it doesn't stretch as much. Then you have this option too. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, and again, like I'm thinking about doing a iced drink cozy with this stitch because it's so pretty. I think it would make another, I don't know. I think I need to just try it and see, but it may be too similar to this one, but oh, I'm obsessed with that texture. And I could change it up a little bit, make it look a little different. I don't know. We'll see. But that was instantly what was in my mind when I saw this. And who knew that this little thing would bring me so much joy? But when I'm walking down my driveway, I no longer have to like tuck my phone right here. I can just like throw it in there, throw it across my body, and I have my phone with me. And like my house key and stuff like that. So I really like that. So that's my other finished item. And the good thing about going shopping with the girls on Friday was I was able to crochet the entire way up there and the entire way home. Like, I was so happy. We went to Hobby Lobby. Where else did we go? Went to Hobby Lobby, J.C. Penney, Books A Million. Oh, we went and ate at Olive Garden. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Um, but seriously, like, I got to ride and crochet. Like, I had just the best day. So I finished that up on the ride up there. So sea foam, yes, that's what I was trying to think, Rakina. Thank you. You speak, Nikki. You get what I'm trying to say. Um, let's see. I think I showed you that's all that I have finished, but I feel like that's a lot. Even though usually it only takes me maybe an hour if I can sit still long enough to make one. Oh, also, my friend Amanda has been making these, and she said that what bothered her about the pattern was where you slip stitch to join. There was a you could see it. It kind of just went like this, and you could kind of see the line. So she was like, I think I'm going to just work in a continuous round. I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. Like, I never thought of that. So she did it and she's like, I like it. So I tried it and that's what I do now. I work in a continuous round. I have a stitch marker at the beginning of my round. And another thing that I do is I mark the increase row with a stitch marker. And then I know like that's row, like the first increase row is row 15. And then row 17 is another increase. So I will take that stitch marker and mark row 17. And then I know at row 23, I'm increasing again. So all I have to do is count from 17 to 23 or 22 to figure out where my next increase is. And then when I'm at 23, I know my last round is 31. So like if I get confused, I'm only having to count from 23. I'm not having to count all the way from 1 again. So that helps me make them really fast too. So if you make these, that's just a quick little tip. And I really like just working in continuous rounds because you no longer have that line. So just a little tip. And I think when I remember, I think I'm going to update the blog post and the pattern to add that to the notes because it does look a lot better. It never really bothered me until it was pointed out. And then I'm like, okay, now I can't unsee it. So That makes it go a lot faster too. Yes, Rakina, there you go. And be like, "Okay, let me translate. What she meant was." Oh my goodness. Also, my friend Cheryl and I have a Maker's Gonna Sell podcast, and we started podcasting at like 9 o'clock this morning, and we just finished like 45 minutes ago. So we batch recording. We did 2 episodes. So y'all, my brain is just gone. It's just whoop. And I've got to go dye yarn after this too. So it's gonna be an interesting day. Um, I forgot to tell y'all last week that the Yarn Club is open to new members. So I decided to extend it one more day so I could announce it on the podcast. So if you've been interested in joining the Yarn Club, today is the last day to join to get in on July's box. And we would love to have you inside of the Yarn Club. If you have any questions, just holler at me. I'll be glad to answer any questions. For me, the Yarn Club, it's more than just yarn. It's a monthly experience every month that you get to share with a community of yarn friends, and I feel like we have the best time. I know I have a great time. I just love it. I feel like we're just all friends and we all love yarn and crochet. And I love that people post their finished makes in the group. And to me, it's just the best thing ever. So we would love to have you if you've been interested. Come on in. I will have a link below, or you can go to alcyarns.com and click on Yarn Club, and all the information is in there. And then I've got another big announcement. I've been hinting at advent calendars. They are now available. I just announced it in my yarn club. They are now available for pre-order on my website. I did limit the quantities of them just because one of my biggest fears of doing an advent calendar was I was scared I wouldn't be able to keep up with all of it and it would just be so much and I would be overwhelmed. So I kind of made a deal with myself that I would just kind of put a limit to what something that I'm comfortable with and I know that I could get done. So there is a limit. I've already and I'm gonna try to keep the orders open through the month of July unless it sells out first. Um, what else was I gonna say? I've already reached out to a couple maker friends and I'm really excited about the fun extra goodies. So I'm doing the advent calendar. I feel like a little bit differently. I know a lot of people do the little 20-gram minis, and it's usually like 24 of them. Um, But that seems like I don't know, 24 little minis, I don't know. Those things are so floppy, and I enjoy dyeing them, but 24 per order, I just don't know. Um, and I felt like it can be overwhelming for us as crocheters or knitters too. Like, I have 24 of these little boogers. What am I gonna do with them? Or it's a lot to keep up with, a lot to hang up, or cake up. So I was like, why not do what I call the not so mini hanks, which is 50 gram, a normal hank of yarn. I don't have one near me, which is so odd. A normal hank of yarn is 100 grams. So it's half the size of a normal hank of yarn. And look at the size difference. So this is the 20-gram mini, and this is the 50-gram not so mini. So my advent calendar is going to be 12 of these, which is equal to 6 full skeins of yarn. I don't know, I just feel like from the crocheter end, I feel like, "Oh, well, I can definitely find something to make with 12 of these." I don't know, it feels less overwhelming than 24 of these. So, that's what I'm doing, and it feels less overwhelming as the yarn dyer too, let me just go ahead and say. So that's kind of like the reason why I'm doing it this way. So it's a 12-day advent calendar. But it's going to be an awesome 12 days, let me just tell you. So wanted to tell you about that. The theme is going to be stained glass, and I pulled out some of my yarns. They're going to be one of a kind colorways. So these yarns that I'm about to show you, the way that I dyed them, like every single hank of yarn is different. So like look at that. See all the just the pops of color and things like that. I'm not saying this is what you're gonna get. This is what it's gonna look like, but the technique, like it's just gonna be colorful. Um, and then here is a blanket I started forever ago with some of my scrap yarn. So as you can see, some of these colors are kind of what I'm thinking for for the ad or for the stained glass. Like, it just makes me think, like, right away, I know right here, that's my cathedral colorway. And here's another cathedral that I dyed differently. I don't know, I think it's gonna be gorgeous. So, those are just some I know I'm a visual person, so when somebody tells me stained glass and I try to, like, transfer that to yarn, sometimes I can't fully wrap my brain around it, so I just wanted to show you some. Oh, no, did I pull some stitches? No. See, that's the bad thing about weaving in your ends. You never know with me, like, did I actually, like, bind off or what? But thankfully I did. Um, this is, I think, Cathedral 3.0 in my Brecken cowl. So just to kind of give you some visuals of what colors may pop up in the advent. Um, okay, I think that's all. I'm super, as y'all can tell, I'm super excited. It's so hard not to jump in there and start dyeing stained um, glass colorways. Like, I started to just have to write my ideas down in a book. That way I wouldn't go in the dye room and start. Um, Let me see. I think that's all I have for y'all. I felt like I had so much more to tell y'all this week, but I guess not. I think I talk so fast that I get everything out. I get excited and I talk so fast that I feel like I get everything out so quickly. So sorry. I just, as you can tell, I get super, super excited about yarn and crocheting and my yarn club and all of the things. Also, I am getting ready. I'm hoping to finish up dyeing yarn club tomorrow for July. And then I'm going to start dyeing yarn for the yarn crawl, the Arkansas yarn crawl, which is from July 15th through the 22nd, maybe the 23rd. You can go to Arkansas Yarn Crawl on Instagram and it'll have the dates. I should have wrote this down, but it wasn't in my notes to talk about. But I'm going to be at Arkansas Yarn Co., which is in Malvern, Arkansas, the 15th through the 17th. And I'm super excited because there's going to be some more like yarn knitting podcasters there, and I'm going to be able to meet them. There's going to be some designers. I'm super excited about meeting them. Just getting in a group of other women doing things similar to me. I'm super excited, super nervous because I'm an introvert. But it's like that, what is that little saying that goes like, I'm an introvert, but I'm willing to discuss yarn. So like once you get to me talking about yarn and stuff, you're like, I wish you would go back to being shy. Um, so I'm really excited, but a little nervous. So I'm gonna be jumping in and dyeing yarn for that, and I can't wait. But it's been super stressful because I've had some issues with yarn when I order it the last couple of months, and it gets here late and it's putting me behind. But finally have all the yarn here, and now it's just like I'm kind of pressed for time, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. I've already decided that if I have to, I'll just dye yarn all weekend, and then next week I can spend the time, twisting it up and labeling it and all the things. But I think it's gonna be really fun. I can't wait to meet more yarn people. If you are in that area or you want to join the yarn crawl fun, let me know if you want more details. I'd be happy to share that with you. I'm only going to be at the one yarn shop though. I'm going to be at Arkansas Yarn Co. And I can't wait to meet my sweet friend Lori in person. So yeah, that's all that's new over here. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna leave y'all with a momentum moment, and I don't have much to say today because I said all I could say in my podcast today with Cheryl. Oh, it was so fun. But it all just comes back to like our two podcasts that we just talked about. They were kind of two different topics, but throughout it, like our same thing was just like being you. So many times we see somebody else, even if it's not in business, you see another crocheter and she's getting so many comments on this one thing. So we think, oh, okay, well, that's what we need to do in order to get more followers, or that's what we see what somebody else is doing, and we think we tend to compare ourselves and we think that we need to be doing that too. But if you just be you, you're going to attract the right people to you. And I wish somebody would have told me that a long time ago, because I'm just like, what do I post to get people to talk to me? Like, I kept trying to like figure out am I wording it right? Am I posting the wrong things? But then when I finally was just
Mhm.
like, I'm just gonna be me and post what I like, all of a sudden I started getting these other people that are like, "Oh, girl, me too." Like weaving in the ends. Most people are like, "Girl, I don't like weaving in the ends too." Um, so it's just so funny that like when I finally just let go and just started putting stuff out there that, I think it's funny or that I just want to share, all of a sudden I had people that just kind of get me. They're just like they think I'm funny, even though my husband doesn't think I'm funny. Like they think I'm funny. I'm like, well, you don't think I'm funny, but I'm gonna post this, in the yarn club and they'll think I'm funny, or I'm gonna post this on Instagram and they'll laugh at me. So just be you. That's all. People will love you for you. And I hope that y'all have a fantastic week. And just feel free to comment below if you have any questions. I will have links to the Yarn Club. I will have links to the Advent calendar. And I will post a link to the Arkansas Yarn Co. too, so you can get more information there. All right, y'all. Happy yarning. Talk to you next week. Bye.